What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ranger Flame, and welcome everyone to episode 29 today of Black Clover. Today was a recap episode. Now, before you leave this video or whatever, there are some cool aspects of today's episode. Because knowing from recaps, yes, they are always boring. We already know what happened, this and that. We get it. But there's always some new stuff and some dialogue that are pretty, I guess interesting or good to know from, a series that you like to watch. So today in Black Clover, it really focused on Asta's character and, what he became as a guy from the church wanting to, look at a dream and for it to come true to what he has accomplished right now. So we get, I guess, 4 characters that we learn in today's episode that I guess has, background dialogue or that is in this episode, which is Asta, Gordon, and Noelle. So I'll just start with Asta's, kind of perspective in today's episode, which was the most, and I'll kind of clear it out and etc. So, in today's episode, it just focuses on, Asta's character and what he became as a Magic Knight for the Black Bulls. So knowing from him, it's his dream to become the Wizard King, and to become the Wizard King, you had to become a Magic Knight squad, you had to get a ranking, you had to surpass the captains, and then afterwards, then you can go and become the Wizard King. So knowing from just the start of Black Clover that we get, we all know Asta's story, that he is, I guess, a boonie. He is from the boonies. People didn't really have, a lot of, respect for him, not except, is his, childhood friend or even his family. So, going into Black Clover, he had a lot of people looking, down on him, even the father at the church. And now it's shown that he has, made a lot of friends, in the Magic Knights that actually, even cheer and love him right now, and for him to actually become the Wizard King. So, that we get in today's episode, it really is like a big dialogue, like I said, of Asta's character. He's really different from a lot of Magic Knights that we look at. He's a guy that wants to become the Wizard King, but he's really different compared to other Magic Knights because he doesn't have any magic power whatsoever. He has 2, anti-magic swords that he uses. He has a strong physical body that he can move really fast. And it's really different, and you look really closely at Asta's character because he, like I said, is different from every Magic Knight. He is a person that doesn't have any magic whatsoever, and, going into the Magic Knights, he actually got promoted. He's ahead of Midnight. He's ahead of Luck. Gotta look at their characters. Yes, it's from the Black Bulls, but they have been there for quite some time, and Asta just joining in, and Uri is that far ahead of some Magic Knights, not even from the Black Bulls. It could even be from the people from the Golden Dawn. It could be people from Vermilion, like the Lions. So you give Asta a really big credit, and we see a lot of stuff in this episode of, hey, when he versed Mars during the dungeon arc, he versed the Ice Dude at the town arc. It shows that his character has come a long way and what he really wants to prove to people. So that's his perspective in today's episode, kind of looking of what he is like. I'll talk about Gordon's character now. So Gordon's character, I like him, to be honest with you. You feel bad because in last week's episode, he really wanted to go to the mixer with Finn and Asta, and he got left behind, which is a really funny moment. You gotta love the comedy in Black Clover. But looking at his character today, it is really weird, and I don't even know if this is part of the manga or not. It's been a while since, I was this behind or whatever on the manga. I don't even know if, like I said, this is even part of the manga whatsoever. Gordon has this book of, friends. You can call it, a journal, a diary. He writes about this with every single Black Bull member. And he writes this kind of every single night about if it's Asta or if it's about Noelle or anything like that. So we see him, his first time talking about Asta, which I just talked about, of him, showing himself at the Magic Knights exam the first time and Yami accepting him into the Black Bulls. And it's weird because he has a book about this for every single, member of the Black Bulls. And he has kind of this creepy smile. And in the episode, which is actually really creepy, and I don't know about Gordon's character here anymore, it's about the episode of what a Magic Knight really is before the town arc. And it's also, helping the beast, eat or clean, all the Black Bull clothes. And we see Gordon, kind of following Asta around with a creepy smile. So he's kind of like a stalker, which I don't know, Gordon, man, you're kind of creeping me out this episode. I don't know how I feel about your character, so hopefully you get, a bigger character development or something like that, because let me tell you, it was really disturbing watching him in today's episode. So that was Gordon right there. So we'll hop on with Noelle's character. So we know all about Noelle already. You know, she had a big character development. You know, she really only cared about herself. But when Asta came in and showed her that she can be somebody else, that really changed her. And that's what really she started to have feelings for Asta in today's episode. And a pretty funny thing I like about in today's episode is Nero the Bird, which was with, you know, Noelle talking about Asta, like him versus Mars at the dungeon arc and etc. It reminded me of, I don't know if you guys ever had this before, but if you ever talked to a female in real life and she's talking about, hey, I like this guy, and you're just standing there, you have no idea what is going on, you're kind of terrified, and etc. like that. That's kind of what Nero was today with Noelle. Just him kind of, you know, sweaty, has no idea what to do. Like, Noelle, you're talking to a bird. So I thought that was great comedy right there. You know, Nero is definitely one of my favorite characters. Even though that he's a bird, he is still great. And you guys will see him that he is more terrific going into more of Black Clover. So we see, I guess, more of Noelle, you know, I guess, hating Asta, you know, after he comes back with his workout. She just vanishes him away with her water magic. And, you know, a big thing that you look at in Noelle's character, you know, even with the comedy and her liking Asta, she wouldn't be here without Asta. And I feel like that's what they were kind of looking at in today's episode of Black Clover, because, you know, Noelle, like I said, always cared about herself. She wanted to be strong with her magic, but, you know, the problem with that is she couldn't control her magical abilities whatsoever. But when Asta, you know, gave her that passion to become, you know, somebody else and to give her that hope, Asta was the one that changed Noelle, and she is what she is right now. Like, we see that she has good magical powers, like that magical water barrier. You know, that was all thanks to Asta that gave her hope and gave her pride, and now she could actually control her magic and become a good magic knight. And so I guess that's what it was portraying in today's episode. You know, we all know this. We're going to see it throughout all of Black Clover. It will get bigger and bigger, trust me, when we go towards more of Black Clover. But I guess that was Noelle's kind of side of today's episode. Last one to talk about is Yuno. There wasn't really a lot of Yuno. Like I said, when we saw Gordon writing that diary or whatever about Asta, you know, he knows that Yuno was Asta's, you know, best friend or a childhood friend. So now he's, I guess, his best friends with Yuno. So that was really the only news that we got of Yuno's character today. We'll probably get more of that going in. But next episode we're going to get is the Gosh arc. And the Gosh arc is a really good arc. I think that you guys will really enjoy it. I actually thought it was going to be today's episode right here, just because, you know, we had that kind of filler episode last one, which it wasn't really filler. You know, some of it was going towards the story, knowing Rebecca's character, which we'll see more into Black Clover. But, you know, I guess today it wasn't really the best. You know, it was stuff that we already know. It was just kind of, hey, Asta did this and that, knowing a person what he became right now. You know, Noelle's character development. You know, we see Gordon, I guess, who he is. So I guess if I'm rating today's episode, guys, I would only really give it a 4 out of 10. Not really a pass. It's just, it's an episode you could skip over. It's an episode where you could totally forget about it. You will never remember it, and you'll just continue on from there. But like I said, you know, in many series that I do here on this channel, anime will always have those recap episodes, you know, hyping up going towards a new arc, and new arc is going to be starting here next Tuesday. So get prepared for that, guys. The Gosh arc, you guys are going to have a really lot of fun with it, especially Yami's character. You guys, if you think Yami's a badass now, he's going to be even more in this arc. So I hope that you guys all enjoyed my review here today of Black Clover for episode 29 Path. If you guys did like the video, make sure to leave that. If you guys have a favorite moment in today's episode, leave it down in the comments below. And if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. But either way, have yourselves a fantastic day, guys. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday for another Black Clover review. Much love, guys, and as always, have a good one.